Hi, I'm Mark Vernarelli, and welcome to Inside Harford County, a program where we sit down with our community leaders and discuss the issues important to the citizens of Harford County. Not only is Harford County a great place to live, of course, it's also a great place to visit. Attracting visitors to our county is the job of tourism marketing, and it's a very serious business because tourism supports local hotels, restaurants, museums, all the festivals we have. They all drive the local economy and add to everybody's quality of life. Joining us today in the studio to talk about an exciting new approach to tourism is County Executive Bob Cassilly and the county's new tourism manager, Jodi Marchhauser. Congratulations on your job, first of all, Jodi. It's great to have you here, and we're looking forward to learning more about your background, too. Mr. County Executive, how are you doing? Everything going all right? Good to see you, sir.
Things are going well in the county. Good to see you, Mark.
I know you're a big booster of Harford County, of course, but the impact of tourism has to be significant. What do you say about that?
No, it's a serious part of our economy, and we give it a lot of attention. We host just an amazing array of museums and festivals and historic sites, waterfront activities, just many more outdoor activities. And tourism marketing is funded by the hotel tax, which is the tax imposed on people who visit Harford County. It's a state tax, and a big part of our tourism effort is spending those monies appropriately to support the tourism industry.
Now, you recently moved tourism into Harford County government, which is something that other jurisdictions have done. Why did you do that?
Yeah, well, for many years it had been under Harford County government, and the last administration decided to experiment with it a bit and put it outside under a nonprofit. And I came in with an open mind, trying to learn all, what's better, how's this all look, and really took a full year to analyze that, and we looking at the facts of how things were going, and after careful deliberation, decided it would be better to move it back under county government. It gives better coordination of our tourism assets. Tourism, as Jodi will tell you, it's a high-tech industry, and so we've been able, as the county government, to purchase a number of very valuable and expensive tourism softwares to assist our tourism partners, the industry, and so we can, in essence, serve as a free library. So those many tourist destinations can use those tools, leverage those tools at no cost to themselves to really maximize their success. And it also gives the county a better ability to coordinate venues and events with our own county staff, or public works, or parks and rec, and the like, and public relations. So we better coordinate that, and not insignificantly, it lets us provides us better oversight of taxpayers' dollars, which, when you're talking substantial taxpayers' dollars, $7, $8, $9 million, $10 million, that's a lot of money to account for. So it's good to have that inside the county government with us paying attention to what's happening.
Jodi, the county executive, touched on it, but how has the county's approach to tourism marketing changed?
Sure. We're really focusing on three pillars: innovative technology, strategic marketing, and inclusive collaboration. So we started with meeting with all of our stakeholders, which include hoteliers and event arrangers and attraction owners, and wanted to hear what was working for them, what challenges they were having, and how we could best support them. We then engaged with a marketing research firm that specializes in tourism to hear a little bit more about who's coming to the county and where they're coming from and why they're coming, so that we could use that information to get to be more strategic with our marketing.
And what did that research show? I'm curious. I'm sure it was probably very detailed and in-depth.
It was very interesting. A lot of things that might not surprise you, but there was a few that did. So one of the great things that we have here is our proximity. So we are easy to get to up and down the East Coast. 42 million people live within 175 short miles from here. So that's less than a 3-hour drive, which is great for a weekend getaway. Another great thing that set us apart is our event calendar. We have a full calendar of events, something to do almost every weekend. So that is, a great asset that we are able to use and bring people here to enjoy it as well. We also, just where we're located, we have miles of shoreline. So just beautiful parks and hiking and all kinds of different activities that families and individuals can come to enjoy. And finally, our culture. We just are a friendly culture and welcoming and neighborly. So it's a great place to come and check out, and the local community is happy to have everybody.
Ms. Cassilly, your family goes back, as we've discussed before, generations in Harford County. You're a big booster of the county. How does this research resonate with you when you saw what they were coming up with as our strong points?
Well, Jodi puts it forth very nicely and succinctly there, but you know, I have to tell you, this is a great place. I've always known that, to live, work, and play. We have a fantastic county. And then the challenge that she and our tourism industry folks have is, how do you convey that? How do you convey that image to people who are outside of Maryland and maybe outside of the country, to let them know that, hey, this is a great place to stop over for your visit and spend some money, spend the night, and enjoy us. And they're doing a great job. They're doing a great job encapsulating the great stuff here in Harford County and laying out before the potential tourists. Good things.
Jodi, the word that marketing people use often is branding. How do you brand? How did you and how will you brand Harford County as a tourism destination?
Sure. Well, we started with our logo, our Hello Harford, and we found it as a perfect fit for us. You know, it's friendly. It brings that friendly nod. We have a sunflower, which is a nod to our agriculture, as well as, you know, just a fun thing to come and see. And then our colors, you know, we went with blue as just, again, it's a little bit of nod to water, but it's calming, and the orange is more the fun and the vibrant. So, you know, we're looking forward to, you know, using that logo to drive us, and then, of course, using some of this technology that we've talked about to really push through with some strategic marketing.
How times have changed from the old days, which are not that many years ago that now we think about it, but this websites and social media presence has changed everything. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, look, the tourists, they're coming in with that iPhone. That's what they're coming in with. And that's how they're accessing stuff. So we really designed our tourism website and Facebook around making this easy for folks. We focused on their needs, the visitors' needs. We didn't just say, hey, here's a list of hotels, but we set up a table to say, well, if you need do you need a pet-friendly hotel, or other filters, let you select the type of hotels, the rooms, and the like. Just makes it easier for folks to plan a trip with an interactive map. Folks can filter their maps for, you know, do you want breweries or ag tourism or parks or events. And then the master calendar, which honestly is my favorite, of just fun things to do when you're here. You just click on a date. Even for a local, it's like, hey, I'm free on Saturday. What's happening in Harford County? You click on that. It's a one-stop shop. All the very many events. And I just think for residents to, you know, do in their own backyard, or for folks to come in from out of state, it's all great stuff, and it's a wonderful website. Works very well.
And Jodi, I'm almost afraid to mention it, but I'm sure AI plays a role in your marketing, and you have some exciting new tools there too, right?
We do. So two of our big technology tools that we've invested in, one of them is called Placer AI. So it does use a little bit of the AI platform, but what it really does is it helps us find the foot traffic. So we're able to see where people are coming from, we see how long they've been here, we see how they move throughout the county, and that allows, again, us to understand the patterns so that we can come up with the best reasons to get them here and to get them to come back. So, you know, we're using that. The other tool that we're using is called Let's Rally, and it's an app, and we're using that more for engagement. So we're using that so that while you're here and you're here for an event, you're able to see exactly where the vendors are laid out. You're able to, the event arrangers are able to send push notifications and make announcements throughout, and different ways just to draw that engagement and have people really excited and have great experiences while they're here.
How long does that take to kind of get your feel for what these trends are showing? Does it take months? Does it take a year?
No, we can go back. We can currently go back now. It takes about, from the time of the event, it takes about 3 or 4 days. But then we can pull the information from an event that just happened. We can also pull something that happened last year now. So we can look back at events that are annual and let them know now what worked well last year, which is a great advantage to their marketing toolbox as they go out and try to really get the best they can for this year.
We talked about technology. Yeah. The second pillar or big idea would be strategic marketing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you see that fitting into this plan?
Yeah, so it's important for us to be able to work with folks who are, I mean, not just marketing an event, but looking at the bigger picture of a strategy of marketing. So we're able to work with the professional marketing organizations to go out and go after, target a broad market that we might want to reach for a single event or for multiple events. So it's really a strategy of marketing as opposed to just sort of one-offs. And I think these tools, all of these high-tech tools that we're talking about, enable us to do that, to gather the data that you need and to have the kind of influence that we need to effectively market things in a strategic fashion, not just the old days of you ran an ad, you put a flyer in the paper and just cross your fingers and hope for the best. We can go after specific markets. How did your event do last year? Let's take a look at it. Who did you draw from? What kind of people were you drawing? What demographic? Let's target them and go after them. So it really enables a strategic approach to marketing as opposed to spend some money and hope for the best.
So Jodi, I guess you can even drill down to a geographic component to marketing and say that New Yorkers or New Jerseyans or people from Virginia like to come to such and such type of an event. Is it that specific?
It is that specific, and that's what we even started with that because our markets came back when we did the initial research of some areas in New York, some areas in Philadelphia, Baltimore and DC area. So we really, we were able to see where people are coming from, and then we're able to see what types of people are coming so that we can also look at some markets that are similar that maybe don't know about us yet. So absolutely, I mean, you really get down to some zip codes is really what it brings.
Has anything really surprised you in what you've discovered so far from all the research and the data?
I think location-wise, not so much. I think when we went to some, second-tier areas, it was interesting to see there's Ohio, was one of the places that came up, Ohio and even the Pittsburgh area, which makes sense if they're coming across and coming towards this way. But that was a little interesting. It was interesting to see that. And I think it was interesting the demographics of finding out, it was around, I think it was 35 to around 55 was kind of the group of people, which brings the families as well. So that, again, that was, a great tool for us to say, keep up with these festivities that are family friendly, while still offering some of those things that you could bring if it was a guys' weekend or, something like that for golf.
Ms. Cassilly, I'll go back a minute to talking about bringing tourism back under the county government umbrella. What, again, are some of the advantages of that?
Yeah. So, when we looked at all this, one of the big studies we read talked about the importance of unifying the efforts by your tourism folks and your county economic development folks and your Chamber of Commerce. We're all trying to bring people in for different reasons, but it's the same marketing approach, bringing folks in. And so by bringing tourism under the county, we've got a lot of resources that we can use that indirectly promote tourism, or directly if we choose. So for example, our county website, that gets about 60 to 70,000 unique visitors each month, and we have a social media pages with another 30,000 followers, and a county newsletter with 20,000 subscribers. So leveraging all of those additional tools that we've got in the county government just to promote tourist events and activities gives you a freebie for the tourist side, or the tourism industry side, that we can leverage to help that industry grow.
And bringing all those entities together is what you would call inclusive collaboration,
yes,
which is really exactly what it sounds like. Right. It's bringing groups that have the same goal and mission and can benefit from this together. Is that what it's all about?
Absolutely. And while I talked about bringing the Chamber of Commerce and our tourism industry and county government into it, well, it's also bringing the industry in, and so we incorporate them into all that picture as well. So yeah, it's very inclusive, and it's not our plan. We're looking at the data, and what does the data show, and what are the people involved in the industry, what are their thoughts, what do they want us to do. So it's very much a collaborative effort, but we bring all the resources together under one umbrella to say, let's all work together to make the tourism industry the most it can be.
And Jodi, you recently had an event, a nice event at Swan Harbor Farm, which was an attempt to bring all those folks together. Talk about that and how that worked out.
Sure, it was a great event. We had a little over 120, and it was a good mix of all the industry stakeholders, which includes your hoteliers, your event arrangers, your attraction owners, as well as some legislation and some dignitaries in the county. So it was a great opportunity for us to show some of these reports that we're able to run off of these different platforms, as well as just talk about what our initiatives are for the year and really get everybody to collaborate and meet with each other. So, back to, we want them involved. We want all the stakeholders involved, and we want to find ways, such as that event. We're hopeful to have more things like that, where we can get the hoteliers to be working with the event arrangers and the attraction owners, and looking at calendars together and doing things so that we are all getting the best support and the best we can out of all the events that we already have.
Ms. Cassilly, any other support for tourism that you think needs to be pointed out?
Well, yeah, we've got several grants that we are funded by the hotel tax, and those are up for proposals now. The deadline is May 16th for organizations to submit their applications. It's almost $900,000 that's awarded to 31 nonprofits and three municipalities so far on this year. And those include what we call a partnership fund, where the nonprofits plan events together. So, you know, a music and a food venue, perhaps, plan an event together to draw overnight guests. And the goal of that one is, let's get people staying overnight. Then we have we call a community impact fund that helps more fledgling level tourism related nonprofits to bridge the gap to grow their success. So both are very effective, and we kind of juggle which one gets funded more and how we do that. But it's a good use of those tourism dollars to help boost our efforts.
Jodi, let's talk about you for a minute. Your background you're not a native Harford County, but you've been here long enough, you might as well qualify as one. How did you end up doing tourism type work?
I've been in the industry. I've been doing hospitality, meeting planning, and global project management for over 20 years. And I've lived in this county for almost 20 years as well. So it's been something that's a passion of mine. So when this opportunity came along, it was a great merriment of bringing some of my past experience with working with contracts and hoteliers and different events and projects to be more local and to be able to help support and bring all that great stuff to the county.
Ms. Cassilly, if you're just sitting down with a stranger and they don't know you're county executive, they just know you as Mr. Cassilly, what do you tell them when you pitch Harford County? What would you tell an out-of-town person about what's so great about Harford County, Maryland?
So it's a place where I can take my own kids and grandkids to play and have fun, have a great time. So we're something for everyone, and my mother and other people from all ages, from little kids to seniors and everyone in between. Just a great place to come and have fun, and we have something for everybody. Whether you want to get out on the water and boat a little bit, or sit inside and have food or drink, go to see a play or an orchestra concert, it's there. A festival, a music festival, it's there. It's pretty constant. There's always something going in a great atmosphere where we can offer you public safety, great places to stay. If you want to make an overnight, we welcome you, and we've got plenty of hotel spaces available in the county. So it's an awesome place to come and visit and hang out.
Jodi, we're over the hump weather-wise. It's officially spring now. Feels like spring. Spring and summer are potentially big dollar times for tourism. Sure. Which events do we have coming up that come to mind? I know there are a lot of things happening. There
is a lot on the calendar, so definitely checking out our website is the best way to go to see all of them. But just in this month alone, on the 17th, we have Rowdy Rooster is having a musical festival at the Stepping Stone. We have the Discovery Center is having a science fair right here at the Towson campus here in off of Thomas Run. And then we also have Music on the Point, which is in Mariner Park. That is going to be a music and family festival. So all three of those things are great family events that you can bring your family to on the 17th of May. And then this summer, we have a whole week planned for Army 250 celebrations. That's the second week of June. We have the Lafayette Bicentennial is in July in Havoc Race. That's going to be a great celebration. And then in August, we have our annual farm fair, which is going to be at the county fairgrounds. So that's just, a very few to mention for the next few months. But then we go into the fall, and that's festival season. So keep a lookout on the website, event page.
The county executive touched on it, but there's so much diversity here in terms of activities, geography. You have a lot to work with.
Absolutely. Great people and lots of things to help promote, because they're doing the hard work of putting these events on, and we just want to make sure we share it with everybody.
Back to the technology for a minute. You talked about how specifically you can drill down into who comes where, how long they stay. It's astonishing the amount of data you can get out of some of these tools, isn't it?
Absolutely. It is, and it's, I think the big thing is finding the patterns, right? So lumping it together to see really how long they're staying, using our filters, because we know we are on 95, so we're making sure that we're not getting mixed into someone who's driving by, really looking at those that are staying here for a few hours and seeing where they move across the county and what they're engaging in, because again, that helps us build those tools, build those things that they're interested in and enhance them. And that's, I'm hopeful to be able to help support that.
Sir, when you became county executive, you inherited, as part of your job, a public schedule, and you're out all the time. And I imagine you probably learned a lot about how much we really do have, maybe even beyond what you knew when you came into office.
Yeah, my staff does a good job every week of doing strategic calendaring for me, where they literally go to the Hello Harford website, helloharford.com, and look at that and say, hey, here's some more stuff. You know, I get invites to go to things, but some things are just advertised, and things you get out, because I like to show support for the folks who put these events on. It's a lot of work, and we advertise it, but they got to put it on and staff it and take all the risks that maybe it's going to be a hurricane and destroys their events. But so we're there to help them get the most they can out of it, and it's a lot.
How can regular common folks like us figure out what's going on? What's the best way for people to plug in and find out what's going on?
So we're trying to make this really easy for people, and we invested a fair amount and got professionally done web page and Facebook page, and our website is helloharford.com, and the same thing for our Facebook page. And I encourage folks to go onto those. I think you'll find they both flow very nicely, especially the web page. No matter what your age group is, it's simple. You can find things that appeal to you. It's categorized, things that you might want to do, and I think it's just a great tool for locals and for our visitors from out of town to use.
Jodi, you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of events. Has anything popped up that surprised you? You didn't know, maybe didn't know as much about it or never thought about it till you came into this role?
Yes, I think that the volume of the events, same thing. Even living here, I didn't realize how many events there really were. So that's been a little surprising, and in a good way. Even some of just the markets that happen every weekend, they all have been expanding. Some of the farmers markets, things like that. But I think for me, it was the diversity of where they are located in the county. So again, sometimes people only think of some of the municipalities, but if you look at the calendar, you can see that there's something almost in every area of the county. And I think that's really unique and special to be able to, to get all the different people that are coming from different ways.
Army
250 is intriguing to me because it's very easy to overlook the importance of Aberdeen Proving Ground and all the military. Mr. Cassilly, 250 years of the Army, we're going to capitalize on that.
It's a big deal. June 14th, Flag Day, and the birthday of the Army. With the Aberdeen Proving Ground here, with the Maryland National Guard here, and a huge veterans community, Harford's going to make the Army 250 a big deal. We'll have concerts in the park in Bel Air. There's a slurry of activities for folks at local veterans organizations, and it'll just be we'll even have a military flyover in downtown Bel Air and through the county. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's pretty exciting, and I'm just appreciative of the support we're getting from most of the active duty folks at Aberdeen Proving Ground, but also our National Guard partners, and then all the very many veteran service organizations around Harford County are getting involved in it. It is a big deal. 250 years of the U.S. Army. That's you think of all that they've been through and what that institution has meant for the entire world, and certainly for our own country. It's a milestone well worth marking, and we're going to do it right in Harford County.
Jodi, I would imagine some of these folks who come through here probably fall in love with Harford County and would move here. And that's something that has to be in the back of your mind all the time. It isn't just about people visiting. It's about people maybe coming here for keeps.
Absolutely. Tourism falls under economic development, and that's been a great resource sharing because we're working together. And, that's a great goal, right, to have someone come here and say, I would love the opportunity to live here and be a bigger part of this. So absolutely, we work together all the time and try to come up with ways to showcase that. So showcase how you could live here or you could visit here. We'll take you either way.
You certainly don't have an easy job, but I would think you have kind of a fun job because it's something that I would think you come to work every day thinking, how can I market this county today? How can I take this information? And it must be a challenge, but a fun challenge for you.
It is, and I work with some of the greatest people here. So I think, when you're working with people that are having the same goals and the same passion, it makes it easy. Not an easy job, but it makes it easier to really like what you're doing. So absolutely.
You're the biggest booster of Harford County because you have to be, but not only because you have to be, because you want to be.
I
Your family goes back generations in the county, and you know it very well, and you feel like now you have a real handle on wrapping all these tourism elements together.
Yeah, look, I mean, Jodi's our perfect salesperson. While she's not a native, she fully appreciates what we have to offer and the people that are offering it and the people that want to use those services. And she's a great salesperson out there. And we've got an awesome product to sell. We're selling it well. And the benefit goes to all Harford County, either in terms of the jobs they hold or the tax dollars that are raised or the fun they can have. And so this is a great endeavor that impacts everybody's lives in a positive way. And that's the nice part. And to see how, Jodi talks about how it's throughout the county, and it is. And that's one of the real beauties of this going high tech with your iPhones and stuff, to be able to see where these things are, because you may be going to a little ice cream parlor that you have no idea it's off on that little country road there. But once you get there and the kids can pet some little goats or sheep or calves and have an ice cream cone, it's well worth a try. It's well worth a trip. So these things they're nestled throughout our county, and we like that the diversity it brings us, not just geographically, but in what we can offer our visitors is really pretty astounding. What those little handheld computers mean to us, and being able to share what we've got with a very wide audience is pretty neat.
And this technology, Jodi, you can actually, as the county executive said, plug in a date and boom, it all pops up what's going on that date, and you can pick your pleasure, so to speak.
Absolutely. Yep, we have that calendar kind of is very up to date, and pretty much every weekend you have several options, and then we can go back and kind of look at where people went and how long they stayed and those sort of things to see what's working well.
And again, get that information quickly so that you can run with it and make adjustments or market something else.
Absolutely. Yes, it's great.
Final thoughts, sir, on the tourism aspect of Harford County and where we go from here.
Well, remember, it's helloharford.com, and we need everybody to download that and put that on your handheld and tell your friends about it. A lot of great stuff happening this coming up for the rest of the spring and into the summer. It's going to be a happening place, and we want folks to come out and enjoy it and take all you can out of your Harford County experience. Whether you live here or you're a visitor, come enjoy it, have a good time, and we got the tool to help you.
Jodi, it's been a pleasure having you here today. Thank you so much. Best of luck as you market our beloved Harford County. And sir, thank you so much for joining us again.
Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Always our pleasure. And thank you for watching Inside Harford County, airing exclusively on Harford TV. Please join us again next month. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Mark Vernarelli. Thanks for watching.